We're matching. We literally are matching because we are doing it in tracksuit. Okay, so obviously you know the theme. You obviously know the theme before we even started.
Have to suit the theme.
Yeah.
Not ready.
Okay. So, welcome, guys. Back to my episode 2 of Ready for It, and this time I am joined with the 2 co-hosts that have been struggling to join.
Kelly. Hello, my name is Kelly Quavon, and I am very happy that you invited me here.
Hello, my name is Maria-Larisa, and I'm glad I'm on your podcast.
Yeah, so as you guys know, we are doing paranormal, scary, spooky stories, the Reddit stories.
I love that genre.
Yeah. What do you think of it?
I honestly, movies, when it comes to that genre, I love them. Stories too, but I don't usually read stories that scary, but this will be something nice, I think.
Okay, what do you think, Kelly?
I personally love thriller stuff. I don't actually sit down and watch horror movies, but I love the theories, on YouTube, the YouTube theories
of the storyline.
The stories, the dark, crime life, all of that. I absolutely adore it. Paranormal, yeah, that one.
Yeah.
I love it.
Okay, so I have chosen some, I have not read it, I have not read the stories, but I have chosen from the titles. So the first one is going to be paranormal one, and it's called Night Shift in a Nursing Home.
Alright.
That sounds very interesting.
Yeah. Oh, let's see.
Nursing home stories are always very scary, so I love that.
Okay, so for around the last 8 or so years, I have worked in a nursing care, mainly in different care facilities for elderly adults, which at the time includes end-of-life care. We care for a patient who was an ex-army officer and Queen's Guard, and a very broad, larger than life individual. They were very proud of their service and still wore their army issued footwear to special events, Christmases, birthdays, etc. After they deteriorated in their health, they passed away. Their family came to collect their belongings a few days before the funeral, but accidentally left their deceased patient's shoes behind. Our manager said she'll keep them in her office for when they could get up to collect them. Then we were all fairly tuned in to the paranormal on night shift. I and pretty much all of my colleagues were believers. Are you guys believers?
I definitely am a believer. Yeah. I believe it's paranormal.
Yeah. Eventually, a new patient moves into this room. A few days after their arrival, they active the help call around 2 a.m. I respond to it, enter the room, which I find to be absolutely freezing. I switch the light on and they quite clearly distressed. I asked what the matter is, and they told me, "You must help. There was a huge man in here. He was in the corner and in my bathroom." I asked what he was looking for, and he said he wanted his shoes back. He just walked past as you came in. Now it takes a lot to spook me, especially after some experiences I've had in the dead of night. But at that moment, I felt the colour drain from me. I tried to keep the head from the sake of the patient and reassure them it was just a dream.
Okay. Okay. Sorry, I interrupted you.
Yeah, sorry. I think she was more scared because she knew about this patient, and that's why
she did care for him.
It freaked her out.
Yeah.
But I guess because she has such an important role, she was trying to keep her calm and pretend it's not that serious. That is a bit scary.
Yeah.
I mean, like she said, it's like I love how these type of stories just start with a very like, you know, chill storyline, and then it hits you and you're just like, oh, so like it was quite creepy.
So we actually do have some comments that people have written. So this one's Jimmy that like underscore Hughesvitz, and he said, did the family get his shoes back? I didn't even think about that. Like, did the family
I feel like they left it on a cliffhanger for like a further story to it.
So the shoes, the ghost, the old patient, he was wearing them and he didn't have them on, and now he's looking for them, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. So could you repeat the question of the
like
comment?
Did the family get his shoes back? That's what. And OP did comment on it, and they said, yeah, they came by to collect them a few weeks later. Sightings and whatnot continued in the hallways, but stopped in his old room altogether. He was quite a lonely person, especially after the death of his wife. His family lived down south, so he was delighted when he was moved into our nursing home. We would always just say he liked us that much. He decided to stick around even though he got what he was looking for.
Okay. I mean,
so the family did get his shoes back. So
okay, it's interesting.
Yeah,
still
it's interesting. Like,
it has a twist to it.
Yeah, like he still like creeps around like haunting people, even though he got what.
I mean, with situations like with ghosts and spirits, they don't move to the other place when they have belongings still. Like, they're looking for their belongings. I've heard that. But if he got his shoes back, then I don't know why he's still like roaming around. Maybe he wanted to be buried with them, just like it's a part of him, you know. He was a patient for so long.
Yeah, maybe the shoes meant more like to him.
The memories of him being a patient, and then he just died.
Yeah. Another question from Dependent Outsider 702. Have you tried placing a camera in his bedroom or in the corner? Maybe recorders.
I think that would be a really good idea if you're curious about what's going in like the whole room. I would also say and suggest that if you wanna put a camera into a haunted room or a house, always use I'm not sure how they're called, but there's these recorders that change colours.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, they change colours when they sense a presence of a spirit. That's the whole use of them. Or there are ones where you can see, how do I say this? You know the lines in doctors when you're like your heartbeat?
Yeah,
it's
like the sinus rhythm.
Yeah, the sound waves. It records that when there's a spirit present. So just in case the camera doesn't catch the spirit, you can have the other tools to help you.
I feel like that's a really good idea, but because of that, you on cameras you don't always catch the movement of the spirits. Like you could get like shadows and faint like figures of them, or like I don't know, like the circles that move around. There is like the I don't know what they're called, but it doesn't always get picked up. So having that, I think, is a good idea.
Yeah. Okay, so this is what OP commented. If it were any other setting, then absolutely I would. But as it's a care facility for elderly and vulnerable adults, this will be considered as an extreme breach of privacy of the person that now occupies the room. So as curious I was when I worked there, I also had to remain professional. So she does have a point there, because it is like a professional like atmosphere, like setting, and she doesn't want to invade like the privacy of her patients.
If you were to close off the room, then yes. But if I don't know, someone was living there, then no. But if they've experienced stuff like that, then I don't think someone should be living there in general.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't in the story. It doesn't mention that this spirit harms someone, right?
No, it
No.
doesn't. No.
Then yeah, they can't really close it off without.
Yeah,
you know,
because it just
evidence
says
as well.
that there was a huge man in the corner and he was
Yeah.
in the bathroom.
And because not
But
everyone
in
is
the
a
bedroom.
believer, then they're just gonna be like,
Yeah.
they just
All the
hallucinating or lying.
colleagues were believers because they were on the night shift.
I feel like what was I gonna say? I feel like if it was for it to like do damage or like to harm anyone, then like someone specialist like should be contacted and like that room shouldn't be used. But if like it wasn't doing any harm, then I think it's fine. But at the same time, it's still not as like patients as that patient saw the man, big man in the
Yeah.
corner. I feel like it can affect their health or something, mentally and then physically onwards.
I was gonna say
that's not right.
that also because they're elderly, they're at higher risk of a heart attack. So if an elderly person just wakes up and there's just some man standing in the corner, they're more likely to have like a heart attack because of the shock.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, but
they
this
should
was
have
a.
safeguarding.
It doesn't really say actually who moved in. Like it doesn't. It just says a patient, so it doesn't really say if it's a boy or a girl.
But you know, whether it's a boy or a girl, the age still like counts.
Because it is
and-
elderly.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, so I have another one, and this is also a story. It's called "I think I made a mistake as a little girl." What do you think?
I made a mistake when I was a little girl.
Yeah.
Maybe the first thing that came up in my mind was those movies where as little kids they play these demonic games like the Ouija board. They bring in spirits into the house. They attach these spirits. Of course, they're very difficult to find. But yeah, these spirits latch themselves onto you,
Yeah.
and then when you're grown up, they come back to you, and there are different like spirits that fall in love with you or want to harm you, want to protect you. That's what came up in my head when you said that.
Or like the Charlie challenge thing that
Yes.
everyone used to do at a point, and it was
Yeah.
like really easily to do, which was just getting a few equipment.
True.
Yeah, I remember doing that, and but I didn't think of any of it. But some people do it as a joke.
Yeah.
But it's still opening a portal to a demonic like universe. Whether it's a joke or not, these demons take advantage of that and try to harm you.
Yeah.
But there's also another point. There's like different opinions and beliefs on it, because like some people say, because when the pencils move, some people say that it actually moves. Like it's been cases where it actually moved, most of them. But there's people that say that it's just your breath that you're pushing the pencils and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's different.
Yeah, it's
difficult
weird.
it's difficult to know who is lying and who is not in these type of situations. It all depends again on the believer. Like if you believe, then you're not gonna think that someone's blowing the air. But
Let's
So
just
story?
see. Okay, there's been this odd creature that has been following me for as long as I can remember. Throughout the years, our relationship has changed numerous times, and I can't figure out what to make of it. When I was a little girl, no older than 5, I used to play with this creature that I named Shadow, since it reminded me of the Sonic character Shadow. It was like an odd between of a small boy and a cat. It had almost a human face with bright green cat eyes. It was bipedal, human hands with sharp claws at the end, and was covered in black fur. We used to play games together all night and during the day, but I only remember when I was in a dark space like my closet. I remember that it would warn me about the other things in the closet that weren't so nice. For instance, it had told me to never go into the back of our downstairs closet since there was something horrible locked there, which was true, and a story for another time. So, yeah. Around the time I was in 3rd grade, I moved to my old house where the creature lived. And every night when I turned off my lights, I remember being terrified of Shadow, who now lurked under my raised bed. I'd run to my bed and jumped on it as quickly as I could because I was scared he'd scratch me or otherwise hurt me. If I let myself linger on the ladder up to my bed, needless to say, we were not friends anymore. I'm not sure if he's upset because something else had taken up residence in my closet or because I had gotten older and stopped believing in my imaginary friend. Did you have an...
So I was, when you were saying about the shadows and monster at night and stuff, I think like, you know how little kids are scared of the dark and say there's monster on
Were
my
you
bed
scared
and stuff.
when you were a little kid?
I honestly don't remember, but I don't think so.
I think I was. I was like a little bit scared. Like I always had nightmare.
Actually, I think I was scared of the dark, but like I wouldn't say there's monsters. I was just, I don't know. Just,
For me,
But did you have an imaginary friend?
I feel like maybe
So pretty.
everyone had like an imaginary
I
friend
don't
or
know.
most.
Yeah.
For me, it wasn't the dark in itself. It was corners, like corners in general, whether it was daylight or not. Just seeing something there.
Because like corners are normally dark, aren't
Yeah.
they?
I feel like for me, every time like I would go up the stairs, I would just feel like someone's behind me.
Behind
Even
you.
if it was dark
Yes.
or like lights outside, I would just
Definitely.
sprint up the stairs, like try to look
Yeah.
around.
Or in
Yes.
the dark, when you can't switch on the light for the going up the stairs, you know,
Yeah.
how it's like waiting, something is just gonna stand at the top of the staircase, and then you're just there like, oh my god, or something's
Yeah.
just gonna run behind you, as well, like you were saying. It is pretty scary.
Mhm.
With the story though, I feel like it was just like a childhood, like scared thing.
Yeah,
that they
I
were.
mean, she was a little girl, like
Yeah.
not
So-
even 5.
So like how most children are scared of the dark or like monsters or running up the stairs in the dark and
Mhm.
stuff. And now as she got older, she stopped believing in it. Like, oh, I'm not
Yeah.
scared of that anymore.
What I was thinking, like back to what I was saying, like
Yeah.
before about these spirits latching onto you and they want to cause you harm or someone to protect you. I feel like Shadow, the spirit or demon, was trying to actually protect her because there has been a lot of cases of spirits warning them, like how Shadow did to this little girl, and then she grew up and she stopped believing, and then these spirits also have feelings. He probably felt betrayed that this little girl that they've been friends with just suddenly stopped believing, stopped being friends with her. And you said that something new is living in the closet now.
Yeah.
So he's probably feels left out, and he's just in the corner now, like finding anywhere to lurk in, so under the bed. So, you know,
yeah,
he feels
that's
betrayed,
what
sad.
it said. Yeah, like
Yeah.
he was
Or
lurking.
maybe he feels like ignored because maybe she's like getting curious and she wants to like go explore what there is in the wardrobe and that.
Yeah, maybe.
Didn't she already explore what's in the wardrobe? Didn't you say that
Did she?
No, like she
didn't?
said that he told her that there was like to never go in the back of the downstairs closet since there was something horrible locked up, but which was true apparently, but
Yeah,
it's a
which
story
was
for
true.
another time.
So she knows that it's true. So
Yeah.
she has been inside the closet downstairs.
She must have, yes.
Because if she's saying it's true, then yeah.
Mhm.
So.
Yeah, let's continue. Continuing on. Around middle school and high school, I moved more, and this time he followed me, along with the thing that lived in my closet. During this time, it felt as though we made peace with each other, as I began to develop a story for him. I stopped being afraid and began to take comfort in his presence. I felt like he was protecting me from the thing that had now began to torture me. He also started to take on a more cat-like appearance, sometimes appearing only as a black cat. However, since I've moved to college, I haven't thought of / seen much until recently. I feel like he's changed again. Now he seems bigger than he once was. He looms over me and has a wild look in his eyes. I feel like something has driven him mad, and I often am scared when I see him. I don't think that he will hurt me because he still feel the good in him, because I still feel the good in him. But I always feel like I need to run away from him. What should I do? What is he and what's happening to him?
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe he's changing, like changing his form and like changing his like attitude.
Like maybe like because she's changing. Like she went from like grade school to like middle, high school, and college. Like
That
he's
could be a
changing with
reason,
her.
But I was also thinking because now she probably has friends at her school and that,
Yeah.
so he's changing his like attitude because maybe he's getting like jealous of her.
I feel like we're all ignoring the fact that there's still something else following her. Like the evil,
Oh
the
yeah,
other evil spirit. We're just ignoring
the
that
closet
part.
thing.
The other
Because
closet
it's
thing.
began to torture her.
Exactly.
Like
so
ever since she went into that basement or
Oh,
closet.
so maybe
So-
that's why he's changing. He's getting more overprotective with her.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because she went into the
Could
closet, like I said, spirits latch onto you. So when she went inside this closet, this spirit saw the opportunity to be like, oh, a human, you know, let me follow her. And it's just out of the closet. And now it's definitely a bigger demon or spirit. So Shadow is probably changing his form.
Yeah.
And we should also be paying attention into the symbolism of cats.
Black cats.
Black cats,
especially.
Black
exactly,
cats.
black
Yeah.
cats. Like black cats, we were all raised with saying they're dangerous, you know, they're demonic. But
Or like the witch's cat.
exactly.
Mhm. Like we can't like see a cat crossing the road like in front of us.
I mean, that's a symbolism of black cats, but I'm not sure how to like link
Especially
it
on
towards
Friday
the story.
the 13th.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
There's like myths and stuff on black cats, but now I feel like there's other opinions to it, and like it's different. Like I have a black cat, and
Yeah.
she's the cutest thing ever. So I don't. It's
It's like
different.
my friend also
Yeah.
has a black cat and like it's like adorable. It's just a kitten.
It's also depending on what you believe in.
Yeah.
And I guess like I guess like also like the way that they're treated and cared for, because like some black cats are like just like abandoned, I guess. So that's why.
I generally don't believe that whole theory of black cats. I think
You
it's
don't
pretty.
believe her?
No, not the whole black cat situation. Because I grew up with a black cat, and he was absolutely adorable. So the whole black cat theory, I'm not a believer on that. I just
There's cases where like demons or stuff, like I don't know how to say it or if I'm saying it right,
Yeah.
but like they go inside animals, enter
Yes.
inside animals,
Yeah.
and like possess them or something.
Yeah.
And in cases maybe there's usually cats. So
Yeah, but she did say that he began to look more bigger. So he either changed from a cat to like something else.
I was
as
gonna
well.
say that maybe some demons are shapeshifters. So this, or maybe he gained the ability to shapeshift, like not like
Yeah.
you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
Or
of
he was
course.
a cat, and a spirit entered him.
But to be honest, she
What?
never says that he's like that he is a cat. She just says
Yeah.
that he has the appearance of a
Yeah.
cat.
So maybe he wasn't a cat.
Yeah.
At all. But it's a very interesting story.
Yeah.
I love it.
She does not give us an update or like writes in the comments, but some comments that people have written are so there's Paolo underscore Sapiens. Don't know how to say his last name. Don't listen to these people. The shadow thing is something manifest from your mind. It would be better if you didn't get confused by so many opinions. You should try to find peace with it yourself. If it means no harm to you, just let it be.
I was thinking right now when you just read that, I
Yeah.
feel like maybe that person had like a disability, and it had like I don't know if like you know when you see things, I don't know what it's
Yeah.
called.
Oh, schizophrenia.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it could just be
Actually,
all in their head.
It could.
it could, but
I I feel like they should bring in professionals in these type of cases. Like what you were saying before, bring in a professional who knows about spirits, demons, and
like
the other world.
an exorcism.
Yeah.
Like, maybe she can like.
I mean, an
something for someone to do
exorcism.
that.
I feel like an exorcism would be very extreme in this case because like
I feel like that would be like the last option.
that would only be if Shadow physically enters himself into that sounded very wrong. Physically enters himself into her and literally possesses her. But an exorcism is pretty extreme, like for me.
Yeah, it should be the last option if she ever does that.
Yeah. Are there any more comments?
So someone said the Cheshire Cat demon.
From Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny.
But yeah, there are no updates, so we don't really know what happened
We're
to
left on
her.
a cliffhanger.
Yeah, we are. We're left on a cliffhanger. There needs to be an update.
I feel like stories with cliffhangers, especially horror, are always the best. In my opinion. They're just like open to your imagination.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I say that, but my imagination is never big, so I can't really finish a story. So I just want an update, but a lot of people do leave it to their imagination.
Yeah. Okay. So this is another one. This is actually a question, not like an experience. Am I being targeted?
Who said that? The person who
wrote it, yeah.
I'm being
Like,
targeted.
am I being targeted?
I mean, I think so. I think so. I think so. If she's being chased by demons all her life, if she's in a house full of demons in the closets, she probably is.
Yeah, this
being
is another
targeted.
story. So am I
it's
being
not
targeted?
related to them.
It's not related to the other one.
Oh, that's a title.
Yeah, that's the title.
Sorry.
It's alright.
Okay.
I mean, you could say that about the other one. I mean, she could be running from the demon.
No.
So.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
next story.
So let's see. Am I being targeted by an evil presence? I always hear noises in my roof, very human footsteps and very inhuman scratching, squeaking, tapping and laughing. These sounds always occur most often between 11 p.m. and 3 a.m. and I always feel like I'm being watched. I have depression and as a result of this I was just cutting myself and immediately after doing so I heard these movements and felt like I was being watched. Shortly after this I began to smell a terrible smell, like the smell of a dead animal. Is this paranormal entity that are attracted to blood and am I safe? Is there paranormal?
Yes. Probably some kind of.
Maybe.
I mean, definitely. I mean, if she's hearing footsteps on a roof, firstly, who's just gonna be standing on a roof, you know, for fun? And
Not on the roof, in the roof.
That's even worse.
Like in the house, in the roof.
No, that's even worse.
Yeah.
So definitely she's being targeted, and if they're demons.
But like
And
it
like,
could
if
be
she's-
an animal or it could be a human because like she said, it's like human footsteps, but there's also inhuman, like scratching, squeaking, that sort of stuff.
Let's not forget the part that she said she has depression.
Yeah.
This, like,
Depression can cause
can cause-
hallucinations
and overthinking and
Especially
that
with
is
the
quite-
meds
that's
that
true.
she's taken.
That is very true.
But like she did say that, I mean she doesn't say it here, but I'm pretty sure that maybe it started before she discovered she had depression.
she said it started when she was started cutting herself.
No, she doesn't.
No, she
I mean,
started cutting herself because she was
like as a result of
As a-
having
yeah.
depression. But she never says when she started depression. So it could be like she heard it before she discovered she had depression.
Okay.
Or it could be after that.
I mean, hallucination is a part of, I think, people's. Actually, no, I don't think depression causes hallucination. I think what we were saying before, schizophrenia, that's another mental illness.
Yeah.
But I guess her meds.
And she
could've
doesn't. It
hallucinate,
doesn't
yeah.
say if she takes meds.
Oh, it doesn't take.
No,
Oh,
no,
because
it
you
doesn't
mentioned
say. It doesn't
Oh.
mention if she takes meds. But like it does say here that shortly after, like she like cut herself like in her room, she like began to smell like a terrible smell, like a dead animal.
Okay, that's weird.
Yeah.
That is very confusing, like to talk about.
It is like I
If
can't
she's
really
here-
answer this.
If she,
Maybe
witchcraft.
Witchcraft.
Could be witchcraft.
It could be.
Alongside that,
but-
she has depression. Maybe she could have another problem.
That she hasn't been diagnosed yet.
Yeah, and I've seen like movies where people like they got depression and they're like really sad.
There is a comment that OP does reply to. So this comment is from Molly_Menace. Hey man, I think there's a very real possibility that you're having some neurological issues / seizures. That's what you were talking about as well. People can have seizures or seizures. I actually can't say that.
Pseudo
Pseudo seizures, where they are all kinds of spiritual experiences. They might feel the presence / hear the voice of God. They might hear significant more negative experiences, sounds, smells, feelings. They could all be explained by this. At night, our brain can do some really trippy things. The brain can slip in and out of levels of sleep so that you can be awake but dreaming. I remember going to get a drink of water once and it started to rain inside my lounge room. Then the fact you are also experiencing depression can be related.
Yeah.
You also said that. Conditions often go hand in hand. Are you able to go to a neurologist to discuss this? It is important to rule out possible medical causes. Now OP does comment on this. You know, I think you're probably right, but I don't want to walk into a doctor's office and say, I think there's a demon living in my roof watching me sleep. I would sound a lot crazier than I am.
I think. Sorry.
No, you go.
I was gonna say. I think if she wants to go to get help, she shouldn't say like I think there are demons living in my house. I think she should say I think I'm suffering hallucinations. But back to the story, we're also forgetting the timings that she only listened to these footsteps and sounds in the hour of the devil.
Yeah, 11
to 3 a.m. And everyone knows at 3 a.m. is like the hour of the devil.
Yeah.
So I think that's not like coincidental.
Yeah.
No, that is definitely.
And then just a dead animal, like I still want to know where the dead animal comes from.
It's a smell.
It's
It's coming from the roof.
It's coming from the roof.
Yeah, because that's where the thing is. That's where the creature is. It's in the roof.
Talking back that she wants to go seek help, but she's like, let's say, embarrassed or like.
Yeah, I would
because
say
of
she's
what
embarrassed. Like,
What the doctor will
she
say.
doesn't want to think that she's
Yeah.
crazier than she actually
I
is.
feel like she should go in and tell the doctor she has depression and she's been cutting herself and that, and just try to be open to it so that she can get help. Otherwise, it might escalate.
Yeah. But she's just like really embarrassed, so that's why.
If there is a demonic presence in her house, in her roof, and she goes in, they're immediately going to send her to an institute.
True.
Immediately.
A mental institute.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So if there is, she's just going to be thrown in there for no reason. So
And if she is hallucinating, then the exact same thing is going to happen in that institute.
if I was her, in all honesty, I will always look into the... I am a very big believer in like, demonic stuff and like, paranormal, so I would definitely bring a professional, see their opinion, see like yes, like there is something there,
and then go to
otherwise
the doctor.
exactly. And if they say no, your house is clean, then I'll definitely like go into because they're immediately gonna throw me into an institution if I go there saying that I'm seeing and hearing stuff. They're gonna be like just schizophrenic or any mental illness that involves hallucinations. And if there is a demonic presence, then we all know how institutes are. They just give you pills and you get even worse. Especially if you're, like, she's suffering with depression, yes, but there's different stages of depression. Like, some depressions do lead you into an institution. But if she's not at that stage of depression, then she's just going to be thrown into there, making her mental health even worse.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I agree with you.
And like I've seen that people that go into these mental institutions, they come out a lot more crazy. Like they are a lot
Exactly.
more crazy in
Exactly.
there instead of out. So I really hope you enjoyed this episode 2 of Ready for It. And if you want to see more, comment down below. And if you have any more stories, please go follow my Instagram and give me some more stories, and I will react to them with them or with anyone else. So I will see you guys later. Bye.
Bye.